Welcome to our channel, where we've been discussing important works of literature and ideas. Now we turn our attention to one of the cornerstones of American philosophy, Ralph Waldo Emerson's Self-Reliance. Before we dive into the text, let's get to know the author a bit. Born in Boston in 1803, Emerson's life was deeply rooted in intellectual traditions of New England. His father was a minister, a profession Emerson initially pursued. However, after studying theology, he joined the Unitarian ministry. Trust thyself. Every heart vibrates to that iron string. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. Here, Emerson challenges the notion of unwavering consistency, especially when it comes from a place of fear or superficiality. He encourages individuals to trust their own intuition and judgment. When you look closely at this quote, it reveals the central idea that each person is inherently valuable because of their unique connection to the divine. In other words, each person has a special bond with the higher power or the universe, which makes them worthy and deserving of respect. It's not about external achievements, money, or what society thinks. He highlights the significance of passion and drive in achieving remarkable outcomes. All obedience, all experience, all memory, all talent, all education are tools. He suggests that laws, obedience, experience, memory, talent, and education are all tools to be used wisely. Non-resistance, therefore, does not imply passivity, but rather a strategic and thoughtful approach to dealing with conflict. Without enthusiasm and a desire to excel, great accomplishments are unlikely to occur. In a world that often rewards fitting in and staying quiet, Emerson's words are a beacon. He urges us to embrace our unique voices, to trust our inner wisdom, and to live authentically. Whether you read it once or revisit it often. Self-reliance has the power to transform your perspective and inspire you to become the best version of yourself. So my question for you is, how has Emerson's self-reliance influenced your perspective? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights might resonate with others who've grappled with these same ideas. Who you are speaks so loudly, I cannot hear what you say. Thanks for joining me on this journey through literature and ideas. Until next time, stay curious and keep asking questions. And remember, you were born to be yourself, not someone else's version of success. Trust that voice within you. It may not be loud, but it is wise. And in listening to it, you just may find the freedom and fulfillment that the world alone can never give. He stresses the importance of surrounding oneself with friends who are genuine and authentic. Those whose actions align with their words, who exude sincerity and truth, are the ones who should be valued as friends. Friendships built on superficiality or deceit are not conducive to personal growth and self-reliance. Emerson challenges the idea that mediocrity is acceptable and encourages individuals to strive for greatness. It's about recognizing the inherent dignity and worth of every individual because of their relationship with the divine. At first glance, the statement seems paradoxical. How can who someone is override what they say? Emerson was pointing to a common human tendency to say one thing and do another. He was suggesting that people's actions often betray their true selves, revealing their character more clearly than their words ever could. This idea challenges us to examine the consistency between our words and deeds. It invites us to reflect on whether our actions genuinely reflect what we claim to believe and value. Moreover, it serves as a reminder that it is essential to judge individuals not merely by what they say, but also by how they live their lives. We should consider whether their actions align with their stated beliefs and values. Now, otherwise, their words may be empty and misleading. Trust thyself. Every heart vibrates to that iron string. According to Emerson, heroism is not reserved for extraordinary individuals, but is accessible to everyone. Genius is the ability to put oneself in imaginative rapport with the deepest elements of the universe. According to this definition, genius is not merely a matter of intellect or exceptional talent. Instead, it involves a profound connection with the core principles of the universe. True genius lies in one's ability to tap into these fundamental elements and express them in a unique and insightful way. Every act of a delegated authority contrary to the voice of conscience is a real peccato against the right. In this quote, Emerson points out that doing something you know is wrong, even if ordered by someone in a position of power, is considered a sin against what is right. He challenges the idea that blindly following rules or orders from authorities is ever justified. By appealing to an inner authority, Emerson elevates the individual beyond the confines of societal or religious teachings. He suggests that there is an innate sense of right and wrong within each person, a moral compass that can guide them even when external guidance fails. He suggests that true depth comes from embracing complexity and the contradictions inherent in human nature. Such apparent inconsistencies may actually reflect a deeper level of honesty and authenticity. For instance, if someone argues for freedom of speech but remains silent when confronted with an unpopular opinion, they are being inconsistent. Rather, it encourages individuals to engage with the world in an authentic manner without compromising their beliefs or principles. Whoso would be a man must be a nonconformist. This quote means that to be a truly independent and free individual, one must be willing to go against societal norms and expectations. In other words, to be a man, a term Emerson uses to refer to fully realized individuals. One must be willing to stand up for what they believe in, even if it goes against what everyone else thinks. Their belief in free speech is not genuine. Here, Emerson asserts that there is an inner voice, a guiding light within each person that can lead them to wisdom and fulfillment. He addresses the tendency of people to hold on to old beliefs or behaviors, even when they are no longer aligned with their current understanding. Why should you care more about other people's business than your own? Through this rhetorical question, Emerson underscores the importance of focusing on one's own journey rather than getting lost in the actions or beliefs of others. He advocates for being true to oneself rather than conforming to societal norms or pleasing others. He does not explain how one should trust themselves. Rather, he asserts that the capacity for self-trust is innate. It is a quality of the human heart, something that resonates deep within us. However, recognizing this inner voice is not enough. Emerson emphasizes the need to follow it, to act on one's convictions. Let him who seeks the infinite love the finite. By blending the spiritual and the practical, Emerson moves beyond airy idealism and grounds his philosophy in action. Knowing one's own worth is not a passive understanding. It involves taking responsibility for one's thoughts, actions, and beliefs. It is about engaging with the world based on one's unique perspective and capabilities. But his career took a new direction when his wife and child died, leading him to leave ministry altogether. Around this time, he began writing essays that reflected his evolving ideas about spirituality, society, and nature. One such essay, Nature, published in 1836, marked a turning point in American thought, introducing transcendentalism. This school of thought emphasized the inherent goodness of humanity, the importance of intuition over reason, and the interconnectedness of all things. Emerson rose to prominence during the 1830s and 40s. His essays, including Self-Reliance, were not merely philosophical musings. From the first lines, Emerson establishes the central theme of authenticity. He questions whether people genuinely embody what they profess to believe in. Do their actions align with their words? Are they true to themselves? The opening lines establish the tone for the rest of the essay, which is both challenging and urgent. Emerson is not content with mere lip service. He demands a congruence between belief and behavior, between thought and action. They were calls to action, invitations to see the world in a new way. Self-Reliance, first published in 1841, was a pivotal moment in American intellectual history. Originally delivered as a lecture, it immediately resonated with audiences. The timing was crucial. America was on the cusp of significant change. The nation was expanding westward, embracing new technologies, and questioning long-held beliefs. Emerson, with his focus on individualism and self-discovery, captured the spirit of an age seeking both continuity and novelty. The essay opens with an arresting statement. "Who you are speaks so loudly, I cannot hear what you say." He then introduces the concept of self-trust, a recurring motif throughout the work. He continues by criticizing those who blindly follow conventions or rely on external authorities. As the essay progresses, Emerson expands on the theme of consistency. One of the key arguments Emerson makes is against relying solely on authority or tradition. Emerson also touches upon the role of solitude. Man is sobbed, the individual spirit is divine. Another powerful concept in Self-Reliance is that of heroism. Emerson's call for self-reliance does not advocate for isolation or withdrawal from society. Furthermore, the pursuit of excellence is encouraged by Emerson. Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Throughout Self-Reliance, Emerson champions non-resistance. Instead of advocating for forceful confrontation, he proposes a more nuanced approach to conflict resolution. Another compelling aspect of self-reliance is Emerson's discussion of friendship. Finally, Emerson addresses the nature of genius. So what did Emerson mean when he said, "Who you are speaks so loudly, I cannot hear what you say"? Self-reliance is not just a piece of writing. It is a blueprint for a life well lived. If you enjoyed this exploration of self-reliance, I invite you to check out more of our content, where we continue to unpack important works of literature and ideas.